normal PC, it will be only F4. And close the bracket. Okay? It is giving you 6 days. So this is only applicable to colleges which are running from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday holiday means this function can be applicable. But there are a lot of colleges, they do not have Saturday holidays. But how do you calculate this? So second option is equal to network initial, same start date, comma, end date, comma, then it will ask you which day only you have holiday. We will take Sunday. Okay, comma, then we will take all the holidays and close the bracket. See? So normally for first it is 6 days, now it is 7th day. It is taking into the Saturdays also. So number of working days you have got. So this is a one way of finding out the number of working days. So I'm clicking here. See, formula is this. Formula is this. This is including Saturday. So this formula is including Saturday. This information is not including Saturday. So first one we have calculated that Saturday and Sunday is holiday. Based on that we have calculated number of days. Second formula we have used is only Sunday is holiday. Based on that information, if you take this, so Saturday, Sunday 6 days, only Sunday 7 days. So this is a simple way of calculating the number of working days in a semester or in a year. This will be very useful for your basic calculations. Okay, another one calculation is normally we used to get the information that what will be the age, date of birth. Okay, so what will be the date of birth for a person? So let's take what this is the date of birth. Okay, so if you simply calculate it, the formula is equal to dated F, open the bracket, click the date, then type today, close the bracket, equal to dated F, open the bracket, click, then comma, today, close the bracket, Y, we want in years, or if we want in months also, we can go for months also, Y. Okay. So based on today's date, see, based on today's date, it has calculated the number of years, the person's date. Okay, this is one way of doing it. Second way of doing it here is we will take this. There will be always a cutoff date. So normally for faculty they will say that on the 5th of May, what is his age? If you want to calculate that also, it can be done. So the same formula only here, only change we will going to take is we are going to include the cutoff date. The same formula equal to dated if, open the bracket, click. Okay, instead of today, you will take the second, but you have to make this constant. So F and F4 for me, for other it is F4. to make it constant. So it will not change. See, the normal rule in Excel is whenever next cell formula is applied, the value, the location where it is fetching the data also it changes. So we do not want that to change. So we want to keep it constant. Say for first information, it is not changing. If you type click, see here, because his date of birth is 12/5/1972, automatically his age is only 48 because it's not completed. So this is a simple way of calculating the date. Okay, so first one we are seeing what is the number of working days without Saturday Sunday calculation. Second, including Saturday, how many days will be working. Second one was age. Age can be calculated. See, for 3 data, it is easy to calculate. Let's take about you have 200, 300 students, and instantly you want the information now. Means if you have the data birth, automatically you can do it within a 2 seconds. You can do it within 2 seconds. We can all do that. So this is very useful for all the faculties. Second information we are going to see today is okay. We will go to diagonal line. So normally, whenever you are talking about in Excel, faculty used to do this line. See this? This is a crucial line. We always want to separate it. We always want to separate this line so that we will be able to get the information correctly. In a single cell, we want to divide into two. One aspects go to the other information, second aspects to the other information. Column and row wise. We want the same information, but this is very difficult to if you want to perform. So it is very easy. Okay. So I'm going to show you here. So click on this, right click, format cell, borders. In borders, there is something called in corner, there is something called diagonal. Okay. Diagonal, click OK. Automatically the line is entered. Now we have to double click if you want to enter the information. Let's take about name and Alt enter. So now if you want to type date, both informations are in the same table, but it is diagonally cut. So this will be useful for you whenever you want to create any data sheet and other things. I will again show you the information. So I am going to click here, right click, format cell, go to borders, click diagonal. If you want to what kind of line you want, you can click the format, click OK. Okay. So double click here, Alt, enter. So it should be left Alt, not right Alt. It should be left Alt. So if you left Alt and enter, you can type, let's take one name, and here we will expand this. It. So in a single cell, you can type two informations using diagonal options. So diagonal option will be very, very useful for whenever you want to create a single information. This will be very useful. Name, register number, subject, all this information can be put in a single cell itself. See, the rule is in a single cell there should be only single data or single information. But through this diagonal method, you can have two or more data also. Okay, so that is the diagonal line. There is a simple calculation here. So third one, see, third one is quick shortcuts. Okay, hope everyone is there. Okay. Okay, what is the quick shortcuts we have? See, this is the content table we have. If we want to find out what is the easiest shortcuts we can find, if you want to find out the easiest shortcuts, always click Alt. Alt, if you click Alt, automatically what are the alphabets for different bars, information tabs automatically will be there. So for home it is H. If I click H, what information I need? Okay, again I'm clicking. I have selected the third one. I want to color it without clicking on the mouse. So I will click H. In the H, it will give you the information. Using arrow key, you can fill. See, I have not clicked on the mouse. Without mouse itself, you can do the information. You can edit any kind of information. Only thing you know, the short form. Let's take about we want to insert another table. N. Okay, you want another table. Click T. Automatically, without clicking on the mouse itself, automatically have converted this into a table format. So this is a one useful shortcut you can use. Okay, and arrow key plays a very important role. Let's say what I want to change the color of the sixth row. Okay, I will select the sixth row with the arrow key, Alt, Home, again H. Let's make it yellow color. So I have not clicked on my mouse. I have just used arrow key and shortcut function. See, for Excel, shortcut is click Alt. It will give you all the information related to your keyboard. Let's take about A, it goes to data. If you don't want, you can escape it. If you want formula, go for M. If you don't want formula, escape, automatically goes back. If you want to go for page layout, it's go to P. So all this information can be edited using basic Alt function. So through Alt, you can edit any information you want. So that is a basic shortcut we have done. Okay, now let's go to a research-based tool. Very good. So we have a list of students. See, we have list of students. We do not know what is the height, weight, and age. Okay, for sampling data, this is not the real data, but we need a data for executing the data analysis. If you want to execute the data analysis, first you need to feed the data. So you cannot type, if you want to fill the serial number, type 1. In the corner, there will be a small black one plus symbol. See, this is a white plus. There is a darkest plus. If you go to corner, double click it, automatically information will be filled. But you can say that it has only filled 1. We want the serial number to be filled. So in that corner, there is something called autofill option. Go there, fill series. So automatically it gives the serial number. Okay. I want to find out what is the end number. So control down. Control down, I have 204 data. If you want to come up, control up. I have 204 data. I have 204 data, but I cannot fill each and every information. So for that, there is a easy option. See, this is for only calculation purpose. Okay. If you want to generate random numbers, so always go to equal to random numbers. Rand. Okay. Close it. It gives you decimal places. Or if you want a whole number, delete it. You can specify from which number to which number you want. Equal to RAND, rand between. Okay, bottom number, let's take about it is height. We will give it in centimeters. We will give it in centimeters. Let's say 140 will be the minimum. Maximum will be 180. Close the bracket, enter. So automatically it gives a random number. But you should always remember that this number will change according to one click. Let's take about here. I'm adding weight. Rand between weight. Let's take weight. Minimum weight will be 40 kgs. Maximum weight will be 100 kgs. See? When I clicked, automatically this information changes. When again double click it, again the information changes here. So it's just a random numbers here we are talking about. We are talking about a random numbers here. So if you want to make this a constant variable, control shift down. If you want to select everything, control C and click on the first table, right click and paste as a value. If you paste it, automatically the value will not change. Again, same thing applies for. So normally we used to do drag down and copy everything. Control C and paste the values alone. So automatically we have received the height, weight, and we want to find age means equal to random between. Let's say the age is 21, maximum it will be 23 because it is our students. Double click, automatically it will change. Okay, copy again, first one click, values. So now we have a data for height, weight and age. Now we can go and analyze our data. Okay, there is an analyze data analysis, it will be available in data. If it is not available, right click, customize ribbon. Here you can go and change it. Okay, all commands. Right click, customize. So always go to all commands, then only the information will be available here. Go to data. I'm getting hit here. It will be available here only. Okay, data tools. You can click on data tools and you can add. So already I have kept it here. So I will select the data. I will select the data, Control Shift End. I will select all the data. Then go to data analysis. So I can have, see, in SPSS, whatever calculation you can do it, all this calculation can be done in Excel. Whatever the calculation you want, you can do it in Excel itself. So we are selecting, first one we are selecting is descriptive statistics. Click OK. Click OK. We will take all the data, Control Shift End. Okay, so let's say confidence level is 95%. We want the summary data also. Click OK. So automatically, see here we have a data. Here it gives all the information. Column 1, column 2, mean, standard deviation, median, mode, standard error, standard deviation, skewness, range, minimum, maximum, sum, count, confidence interval. All this information about descriptive data, you can get it. Let's take about height and weight. You want to compare height and weight. Let's go for correlation. Click OK. Data input. Click OK. So we have a correlation. Correlation for column 1 and column 2 is minus 0.8. See, this is a correlatory value. So all the statistical analysis, okay, all the statistical analysis can be done in Excel using data analysis tool. So only thing is in SPSS it is easiest to enter the data and get the information. Here also information will be easy if you use form function. Instead of using a direct function, if you use form function to enter the data, it will be very useful to recollect and analyze the data. So whenever we are talking about data analysis tool, any information can be done. Only thing is you should know what information you're going to give input, whether you're going to give 95% interval, 99 percentage, and what is your level of significance. That are the basic information you should know. If you do not know that, no problem, nothing issues there. Okay, next method, we will go to forecasting method. We will take only the revenue. And majority people, we are not using majority people are not using Excel because data insertion is very difficult. People think that data including in the is very difficult. If you have a form function, it will be very useful. Just a minute, I don't know where I kept the data for forecasting. The forecasting is also a simple tool only. Let's talk about revenue. Control shift down, you are selecting the revenue, go to data, forecast sheet. So we need two informations here. Maybe in the last I will update the information. Okay. So we have completed the advanced analysis tool. Now we are going to analysis selection, advanced selection. Okay, see, this is the information we have. So this is the information we have. We want to know what are the duplicate values it is occurring in our information. What are the information we have? We have to find out all the duplicate values. In the last class, I have told you how we can find out duplicate values, but there I have missed out one crucial information, how we can find out other duplicate values and highlight everything. So it is very simple. It is very simple. Go to find and select or click Ctrl G. If you click Ctrl G, it will go to special. Okay, go to special. Not then Ctrl F. Okay, Control F. We will make it simple. Then I will go to Control G. Find what we want to find out. Let's take about 20 MBA 06. We want to find. Click Find All. So in the entire Excel sheet, it will find what are the numbers have 06. Information, no problem. That's a good one. Okay. Control A. Click Control A. Okay. Then you can close it. Then you can highlight it. So these are the information which has whatever we have find out. Control F. So this is the information we have given. This is the information we have given 20 MBA 06. So whichever data is matched with this, it finds everything. Okay. And if you want to find, want to highlight everything, select all, and you can give any number of format, any color you can give. So this is easy way to find out the repeated values in your information. If you have a data, if you want to find out the repeated information and if you want to highlight, you can use this advanced functions. Advanced function is find all, and you can select all the information. This will be very useful when you have a repeated data and if you want to find out. So normally this kind of information will be done by people in exam cell. Okay, there will be a lot of arrears students will be, we want to find out who are the people have a repeated arrears. Use this information, use this method to find out the arrears students. So we used to do this. Okay, next method is very crucial information. Probably it will be very useful for you. We call count. Count and count if all this information will be here. We are going to have all the count if function in a single one. We'll close the diagonal line. Don't save it. I don't want to save anything. We'll close this one also. Count can be used as for basic as well as for advanced function also. So count if function, all this information we are going to see today. Okay, first we will start with the count one. Okay, so first we want to see, this is the information we have. We want to find out how many informations are there. Okay, so count will only take into numbers. So how do we know that in a cell whether it's an so whenever we are talking about information in a Excel, okay, if it is a number mean, it will always be displayed in right side. If it is a text file or any other file, it will only reflect in right side. So through that, you will be able to know whether the information in the cell is a text or a number. So what are the uses of count and count? So let's take about count. Okay, equal to COUNT. Okay, open the click. Click everything. Close. So it has taken that there are 4 numbers cell. There are 4 number cell in the selector list. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we have 4. So this is a useful for count. See, count can be used for any number of functions, any number of processes. This is basic one. And if you want to find out whether there are any blank spaces in your information, so you can use equal to count blank and click all this information and close the bracket and enter. There are 2 blank spaces. See here, 1 and 2. It is taking into count. Or if you want all the informations, okay, if you want all the informations except for blank, if you want all the informations available in a table, you can go to equal to count click everything and close. There are 7 informations available in this table. Okay, so first count only will take into count the numbers. Blank will only take into count information on blank availability, and count will only take into what are the information, whether it's a text or a number, it will take into count. Symbol also it will take into count. So this is a simple way of using count if, count A and count blanks. So what is the use of count if functions? Okay, we will take into this information, count if function. Okay, we have a product, we have product sales. We have product, number of products, we have sales of a, and also here. So if you want to have a range also here, we want to find out how much products are available in this range. So the formula is equal to count if, open the bracket, select the sales value, okay. So here what we are counting is from the 0 whether we will be able to get that information. So already I have calculated, but I will again calculate it. Count if, open the bracket, select the sales data, okay, comma, okay, inverted commas, less than or equal to 0, close the bracket and type. This will be the reference point for us. Close, enter. It is 0. So there are no sales of 0. So if you want any sales is below 100, see, this is a reference point for us. Out of this total sales, if there is only 0, if anybody has sold, any product has been sold below 100, you can drag down, there is 0. If you want to find out how many products has been sold below 1000, 3. It is taken to 6. Okay, leave out that. So this will be very useful. Where means, see, this information will be very useful when you're going to find out how many students has got mark below 30, 50, 100, 60, 70. If we have a large data, let's take about you have 200 students. If you want to analyze individual students, you can create a grid line, a category line. Then you can give how many percentage. We were going to see the grade also, how to put the grade also. We have a calculation for that. Grade, creating a grade for that entire list. Okay, this is one of the COUNTIF functions. Okay. These are one of the COUNTIF functions of sales. Okay. So I will take all this information again. So we are going to see if function, OR function, AND function, and nested if function. Okay, there are in count if, count OR, count if, count OR. There are different types of count functions. This will be very useful for you whenever you're going to calculate different types of informations. So see, this is a customer name. This is a total bill they have. These are the product they have purchased. The rule is, if they have purchased more than 5,000 rupees, give them 10% discount. Second function is, if they have purchased more than 10,000 plus they have purchased more than 5 product, means give them 20% discount. Third option is AND function. If they have purchased more than 20,000 and product is about 10%, means go give them 30% discount. And we want to find out who is a category customer, B category customer, and C category customer. So formula is very straightforward. Formula is very straightforward. Equal to, if, open the bracket, click, we are talking about total sales greater than 5,000. If it is greater than 5,000, give them the discount. If it is greater than 5,000, give them the discount. Discount value will be 10%. Click here, into 10%. Okay, it should be absolute 0. See, you got it. So again, I will repeat. See, if function is, if function, open the bracket. See this, D13 is the total sales. If total sales is above 5,000 rupees, comma, again click on D13, that is a total value. From that, we are going to give them 10% discount, and it should be absolute value. So we have given them a discount of 2,500 because their total sales is above 5,000. See here, these two customers has not bought more than 5,000, so there is no discount for them. This is one way is useful. Second function, OR function. Instead of if, okay, you can go for OR, because we have two information to be analyzed. Two information means one is sales, second is product. Two condition has to be fulfilled. So two condition has to be fulfilled means how you're going to do it is equal to if open the bracket or C2 divided by 10,000 comma D2 equal to if open the bracket or, because there are two conditions here. Okay, so if it is total sales is above 10,000, if it is above 10,000 and our product is above 5, close the bracket, comma, again we are going to give them 20% discount into 20%. It should be in absolute value, no decimals. Click OK. So we are giving them 5,000. Okay. So first one we have taken if function. Second one it's OR function. In OR function there are two more categories. Okay. Third function is AND function. AND function is also like that only. Instead of OR you can use AND function. Click equal to if, open the bracket, instead of OR you can go for AND, open the bracket. Okay, we want total value, it is above 20,000. Don't put any commas here in formulas. Okay, and they should have purchased more than 10 products. So product you click, it should be above 10. If it is above 10 means close the bracket, comma, again click, we are going to give them 30% discount, comma 0.
Mr. Saranan, sorry for interrupting. I think someone is asking you to share the file so that we can we share the file? Is it possible to share the file, Saranan?
I'll try, ma'am. You can note the information. See, it will take time, ma'am. If you want to work out, I will give you all the information and I will give the videos and the record also. You can create your own information. This is just a sample.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I will give it in a group, or I will send it to the email, and I will share the video also, video link also. So it will be useful for you. So we have very short time. Within 1 hour, I have to complete another 15 more exercise.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
We will share the recordings.
Okay, we'll share the recordings, sir. Okay, thank you.
See, if you want to give them, if it is about 10,000, about 20,000 plus, they should have purchased about 10 product. You will give them 30% discount. Here, the AND function is there. AND function means they have to satisfy both the information, both the criteria. They should have purchased 20,000 above product price, and they should have bought 10 products. Then only this information will be applicable. See this? only 2 customers has bought about 20,000 plus 10 products. This customer has bought 12 products, but total value is only 12,000. So this is the use of AND function. And last function is nested function. Nested function is very easy. Okay, nested function is very easy. We are going to have more if conditions. Why copy and pasting is because to save time, you're running out of time, so that's why. See, first one is if function. So if function, first information is if a customer has bought about 20,000, he is considered as an A customer, comma, if, open the bracket again, if the customer is in 10,000 category, he will be considered as a B category customer and C category customer, B and C. You can go any number of range. You can add close to 256 if condition. In formula, you can use 256 if condition to get the data. Information correct. So, out of this information, see how many A category customer are there, how many B and C categories are there. A, B and C. So this is what we call if condition, or condition, and condition, and nested if condition. Let me see count. Okay. And condition, we will take into account and condition here. Okay, we have information about salesperson, how many products they have sold, what is the total sales and commission. Same information here. We have only total sales and salesperson, and we have to give them commission if the commission is 2% above 1 lakh. If they have sold product for above 1 lakh, we have to give them 2% commission. So how do you do that? Here also if condition will be applicable, equal to if, open the bracket, we are taking a reference as a total sales. Total sales should be greater than or equal to 1 lakh. Greater than or equal to 1 lakh, comma. If the first condition is met, click again. Okay, into 2%, 2% commission will be paid. If that criteria is not met, we will motivate them, work hard. Close the bracket. The first salesperson has got 2,800. Say Mukesh, Joel, Jack and Anil has not met the criteria. So the if condition gives them that they have to work hard to achieve the target. This is another way of using if condition. Okay, we will use uncondition also. Another way to use uncondition. Okay, we have multiple sources. We are not going to take only the total sales. We are going to take individual sales also. If it is above 50,000 rupees, we will give them 2%. function, then OR function. We will see the OR function also here. If each sales is above 50,000 only, he will get a commission. So equal to if, open the bracket, and means all the criteria has to be fulfilled. So cell 1 greater than equal to 50,000. Comma. Again. Comma. Cell 3 greater than or equal to 50,000. Okay, close the bracket. If all three criteria are fulfilled, then we will give him 2% commission. So total sales into 2%. If he is not meeting, we will motivate him, work hard. Close the bracket. So he is not getting any commission. Only 2% met the criteria. Because of that, they are getting paid. They are getting commission. So this is called AND function. We have seen in stores. Now we are applying in sales also. Okay, OR function. What is the use of OR function? Okay, same commission. Same here, instead of AND function, we will use OR function. Equal to if, open the bracket. See, if they are able to meet at least one sales target of 50,000, they will get a commission. Or open, click here, greater than equal to 50,000, comma, second, greater than or equal to 50,000, comma, third, greater than equal to 50,000. Close the bracket. If the three conditions, any one conditions are met, we are going to give him the commission. So into 2%. If again he is not meeting it, again we have to motivate him, work hard. Close, enter. See, only 1% has not met the target. So this is what we call OR function. This is OR, this is AND function. So this is the advantage of having if function, OR function, or AND function, and nested if functions. Okay, there is something called sum-in function is also there. Sum-in function. Let me see. I have the data of that. Okay, sum-in function we will see later. Count if. So same information can be got here also. So this category wise you can get the informations. Or name wise also you can get it. How many people have got count if function? If you want to find out the name of a person. Okay. Let's take about here also count if function. If you want to calculate how many same information is repeated. Okay. So I have calculated this. So no problem. I will again calculate it. Count if we are going to take into all the. So we have close to 51,000 informations available here. Comma. We will take corporate as a reference point. So whatever here, let's take what we are going to type consumer. We will take much more easy way. Go to data validation, create a list. Data validation, create a list, create a source. Okay, now corporate data. See here it is a corporate data. If you change it to consumer, automatically data changes. If you want to go for home office, automatically information changes. So this is a use of COUNTIF function. COUNTIF will take all the information and will give you what are the information you need. Okay, this can be applicable to age also. See, I have given the age. That information COUNTIF greater than equal to G4. Let's create a list. 25, 35. We'll create data validation, create a list, source file. Okay, click OK. So already I have calculated here. So instead of that, I want 25 information. So how many people are there with 25? Close to 49,000. 35, 29,000. 42, 15,000. So this is a use of COUNTIF function. So if you can combine 2 or 3 activities into one, your process gets very easy. Okay. So okay, we are more. Let's have some fun with the data. Okay, we will have this information. We will delete the commissions. So we have these 3 informations. Okay, let's have some. We will delete the total also. We don't want date total. Okay, if you want to represent this data into a picture format, how do you do it? Okay, select this information, go to conditional formatting. There is something called icon set. Click. So it will give you graphical representation of information. Or you do not want this information. Let's say about you want other type of, you want to show it in a graph. There is something called color bars. If you do not want the condition, go to conditional formatting, clear rules for selection or the entire sheet. We will see selection. So there is no information available here. Click here, conditional formatting, data bars. You can change any kind. So how it has progressed. Okay, this information can be given graphically to students also, how they have progressed from first year, second year, third year, and fourth year also. Based on the marks. Say this is reference point. Common reference point is marks. So common reference point is marks. Clear the rules. Clear the rules. Again, we can go to color scaling also. You can give any kind of color. We can go for more rules also. Color scaling. Okay, these are a few ways through which you can create color scaling method. Okay. See, normally whenever we are talking about any data, if you want to save that file, you normally go, if you want to save this Excel in a PDF format, normally you used to go to save to the PC. Then you can go to PDF. Okay, it saves as a PDF. But we are selecting this information. We want only this information should be saved as a PDF. So what you do is same process only, save to PC, the folder location, okay, change to PDF. There is something called options here. Click the option, click selection alone, click OK, save. See, only that information alone gets saved, not the entire worksheet or the entire workbook will not be saved. Only the selection alone will save. So this is a useful way to save and file into PDF format. So this will be very useful because we used to create a lot of file has to be saved into PDF, then only we will be sharing that information. Only the selection alone can be saved through this method. Okay. Next method we call grading. This is the total same one. We have graded the students according to the mark. This grading system can be applicable to anyone. So before grading, you have to give a grading category here. Same count if function only. Same if function only. How you're going to use the if function for grading purpose. Okay, so here I have the total marks of the student in the class, and I'm going to grade it. So equal to if, open the bracket, if it is greater than 80, I have to give A grade. Okay. Then, comma, if, again open the bracket, click again the same cell, greater than or equal to 60, I have to give B grade, comma, again, if, open the bracket, same cell, greater than or equal to 40, I will give him grade C. Grade C. And below that, everything is D only. So close three brackets, enter. So automatically for first one, it is A grade. So automatically it is giving them B and C grade. Again, see, this is just an example. Okay, this is just an example. I will again see. See, if function, first category. First function, second function, third function. So if I want to rank a person, or if you want to rate information, this if function can be used. See, I have given only 3-4 data of students. If you have hundreds of students, and if you want to grade them, this is the easiest way. So individually, if you are, instead of typing it, if you are going to change this, what is the advantage I will show you? See, I'm changing the marks here to 70. Automatically, the grade changes. Automatically, the grade changes. Let's take, I will give you 99. Same 75. B category. 40. C category. 35. D category. So let's take 39. Reaches 40 now, automatically changes to C. It is below 40 means it is D category. So automatically it will create its own category. So based on the range of information, you can create it. Say why I have this? Yeah, this is for our reference. This is just for reference. I'm not taking into account. This is just a reference point. This is the actual way you can put it. So you can ask me, this is just a mark. So how do we calculate the other information? Let's take about, you want the total average and weighted average of all the students. So how do we calculate weighted average? There is also an easy way to do a weighted average method. Still people are joining. Okay, let's go for weighted average. So we have exam. See, this information will be very useful when you put your final marks. See, for any faculties, there will be internal assessment 1, 2, assignments, seminars, attendance marks, and each have its own weightage. Let's take about you're putting for 30 marks. So for 30 marks, model marks will have 10, internal will have 5, assignments will have 5, attendance will have 5. So 20 marks will be gone for internal, assignments, attendance. Okay, 10 marks will go for models. So each one will have its own weight. So I'm just giving a sample here. We have 3 informations. Exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, the students have scored this much mark, and the weightage given for each exam is given here. So total it should be 100%. Always remember, weight should be 100%. So how do you find out the average? So equal to average. Okay, select all 3, close the bracket, and enter. Okay, normally it will be coming in decimal places. I want to show you one more information. Okay, this information will be there. We normally use this function to reduce to the nearest number. Never do that. Faculty members never do that. There is another function for that. There is something called round up. Round up, click here, close the bracket. Okay. One information, that should be absolute number. We need absolute number. That's what it's saying, absolute number. Never use this function, reducing decimal, for your final value. It will not give you the correct information. But if you use a round up function for finalizing the value, you will get exact number, how much it has changed. Okay, now based on the weight, we have to calculate it. For weight, we are going to use sum product. Okay, so it is equal to sum product. Okay, select this 3, comma. We are going to select the weightage. Close the bracket. Divided sum and select the weight. Okay. So our average weight mark is 74. Out of this weight, we have calculated is 74. 0.2 is the actual mark of the student. So this is a easy function. See, this is a easy function for you to find the weight. And if you want to go into round up, use this formula, round up, open the bracket, click the cell, comma 0, through which you will be able to get the numbers effectively. Okay. So other informations I will add now. Okay. I'm copying this information. I'm again pasting. So this is not useful because information is coming in columns. But I want that information in a row format. So right click, go to paste special. There is something called transpose. Click OK. Automatically it will paste it in a row wise, not column wise. This entire, let's take about this entire table, I'm copying it. Right click, paste special. There is no active one because table cannot be pasted. Table cannot be pasted. Again, I'm see entire content is being pasted in a row wise. So this is the one advantage of copying and pasting as a transpose. Okay. So we have okay. Quick. We have to go very fast because we have another 40 more minutes. 40 more minutes. I will not be able to complete another 5 more exercise. Very special exercise. I will take into account the most important exercise now. I will close this. I will not save anything because already it's saved. Okay, this information is also very useful for you. So this is the information I have. Okay, this is the information I have, but I want to stay this format. Say we will be sending information to other people to enter the data, then they will send back. We want only the data to change, but the format should not change. So how do you protect your sheet? See, protection of sheet is very important. So first select everything. So in the corner, first arrow, if you click it, it will select the entire sheet. Right click, format cell, go to protection, click locked. Okay. Now, till you are able to edit it. See, we have given a random number here. Copy it. Paste value. It will not change now. So, still information. Format cell, protect locked. Click OK. Okay. This information is alone. If you want to change, right click, format cell, protection, remove it. Okay. So now you can edit. So third one is equal to review protect sheet. See, if I want to delete it, it will not allow me. If I want to delete it, it will not allow me. See, I cannot change the total, but I can change the internal information. Let's take about 10. Information will change here. This roll number, information, see 35, 42. It is taking from B6. B6 should not be there. You cannot change it. You cannot change the total. You cannot change the name. You cannot change the title. But you can only change the information inside. This is the advantage of protected sheet. We want to share the sheet with others, but we do not want the format to change. I will show you this. I will copy it. So first you go click here, right click, format cell, protect, it should be locked. Second, come here, select which information should be changed. Again, right click, format cell, remove the lock. And last option is go to review, protect shell. We do not want them to delete the rows or column also. There are a lot of options. Okay, they cannot insert new rows or columns also. I'm clicking OK, right? Now I itself is coming there. I have to change that. See, I cannot insert any rows or columns, or I cannot even delete it. I cannot even delete it without the permission. So this is a one advantage of having protected sheet in Excel, through which all the data you can change, edit it, but you cannot change the format. See, normally whenever we send any format, there will be a lot of changes in format. That we then again we have to take that information and we have to update it. Through this method, you can do it. See, same kind of information is also available in Google Sheet. Like Excel sheet, the same function is available in Google Sheet also. Google Sheet also you can use this format. So what are the information I have given in Excel? Same kind of information is available in Google Sheet also. So Google Sheet is exact replica of MS Excel. Only thing is you need an internet connection for using it, but that is more useful. So you can create a lot of things. Okay. One more information. This will be majority people will be doing mistakes here. See, this is a small information I have typed. You can see that I have made lot of mistakes. I have made lot of mistakes in typing the information. So how do I correct this information? How do I correct this information? See, spelling is wrong here. This is a major problem for everyone. Go to review spelling. Okay, change, yes, change. So automatically Excel has changed your information. So I will again do it. See, this is a typing error. So typing error in Word, it will show you error. But in Excel, it will not show you whether you have typed correctly or not. Because in Excel, it is doing for calculation, it's not for typing. So how do we find out whether the words we have typed correct or not? Okay, go to review, spell. It will ask you change, or you can go change all. That's all. Automatically, it corrects your information. See, this information will be corrected only for basic one. It will not be applicable to everything. Okay. If it is an Indian name, it will not correct it. If it is US based name, it will correct it. Indian based name, it will not know that. For that, you have to update it in the dictionary. Then only the information it will change. So that is one disadvantage in spell check. Okay. Another simple information I want to show you. Okay. I have a negative numbers. I have negative numbers. How do I convert that into positive numbers? There are two ways you can do it. There are two ways you can do it. So one is copy this, right click, go to go special, paste special, and multiply it. So automatically it changes into the positive value. But one problem is that you cannot do this because it will change into the series fill or fill series. One disadvantage is that you have to do it manually every time. Okay. Or second option is also there. Second option is also there. You want to keep the original negative value and you need additional information also. So equal to this into -1 Why it has come 0 is because I will show you majority time we will make mistakes. Why it is came 0 is because it is taken F5. There are no information is F5. So anything if you multiply it, you will get 0 only. One option is make this a constant value. Constant means dollar symbol will be there. Enter. Now if we change it, automatically it changes to positive value. So this is a small way of improving the informations. So we will be struggling this kind of informations only. We will be not able to do it. Okay, next major information we are going to see is macros and dashboard creation. First, I will show you what is a macro. First, I will show you what is a macro, how to create a macro. So, macro is normally used for creating a repeated information. So if we have a data coming in daily, and if you want to sort the data and you want to create a graph, this macro will be very useful. Okay, this macro will be very useful. So how do you create macro? There is something called developer option in macro. Okay, you have to activate the developer option. Go to customize ribbon, alt apps. No. See this developer, you can add here. In developer, you can get all the information, add. So default, it will not be available in your Excel. You have to activate it. You have to activate it. Okay, let's create a macro. So macro means all the information will be recorded, what you do, then it will create its own information. Okay, so how do you record? See, there is a small option here. You can click it. It will ask for recording. We will give a shortcut of Control A in this workbook. We will take chart. Okay. Okay, already is assigned. We will take Control 1. Control R. Okay, now it is recording. So whatever information you're going to do, it will automatically record it. So first we will format it, table, then Control T, automatically it converts into table. We will change into design, and we will change the color also. We will change the color. Then we will select and we will create a chart. We'll create a chart. We will give salary. We will delete this information. We will right click it, data labels, right click it, data labels. Okay, then stop. So what are the information you have done? It is recorded it. So if I want the information here, I will delete this. I want this information here. Instead of you going and repeating the same information here, click Control R. It is showing that it is wrong because something went wrong. So when you go to developer, go to macro, already the information is there, you can delete it. So always remember it, never use this type. Never use mouse to select the information. Because see here we have only 4 informations. In finance we have 11 information. It will not go into that. So always go for control.
Excuse me, Excel sheet is not displayed, sir.
Not visible. Okay, sir. I will. I think the network has got disconnected. I will do it. Okay, now go to control. You will take chart. Control T.
Sir, excuse me, again not appearing.
So the
Now it's
information visible.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's
Yes,
visible?
sir. Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we are going to see control shift down right. So now the information is selected. Go to insert. Salary. I'm deleting the grid lines. Deleting this also. Now I have stopped. Okay. Now I'm going to finance. Typing control T. Again syntax error is coming. I think I don't know what happened to my macros. Developer macro. So macros will be very useful for only the repeated functions. See, normally it will not be useful for other functions. If it is a repeated function every day, it will be useful. So normally macros will be used only in sales organizations. Why? Because the repeated information is given, automatically it will convert it into and give it into a better one. See, there are other options also there. There is something called design models also there. Macros, a developer option where you can use more reference also. There is a selection problem, something error. Okay, no problem. Okay, leave out this macro. This is the use of a macro. If you can have a repeated function, you can go for macros. Okay, and finally, we are going to see a pivot table. I want to show you another more information because this will be more useful for you. See, we have information like this. All the informations are stacked in a single line. So how do you make it into a table? How do you make a stacked information into a table? That is the one problem we will always face whenever we are going to copy paste any information. Automatically it has to be converted into tables. So I will delete it. Okay. One option is equal to, you can type here name, enter, page equal to, enter, third one, enter, like that. Again, you have to type it equal to here, equal to page, or equal to mail. So this is very tedious process. So what is the easiest option? What is the easiest option? Okay. So what is the easiest option is, type two letter. Let's take capital AA. Then A2. A2 means this is B2. Let's take B2. Okay. Then you will drag it. So again AA B5. See, automatically it knows the pattern. Automatically the Excel is giving you the change. So how do we change the information to table? So normally for this kind of information, there is a VB program, Visual Basic Program, to convert it. There are a lot of programming also involved in Excel, but we do not have the time or patience to change this. So what we do is easy. Control F, okay, replace what? AA to symbol equal to. Then replace all. See, within a second, your entire unstacked data has been converted into a table format. This we call stacked data. Okay, stacked data into a table format, clean table format. This is a simple, easy option. You can use it.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, could you explain once again the replace option, sir?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I'll do it.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
No, good. So this is what you have typed. Okay. So this
Yes,
is what you have typed. Go to Control F. Okay. Control F. In Control F, instead of find, go to replace. What you are going to replace? AAA, AA. Already we have typed AA. Instead of AA, we have to replace to equal symbol. Click replace all. Automatically, the stacked data is converted into table format. So this is the easiest way to convert a stacked information into a table format. See, we have 37 informations. If you, let's say about, if you're copying from an internet, automatically the data will be pasted in Excel in a single cell only. You will not get it in multiple cells majority time. So how do you convert that information into table? This is the easiest way. See, if there are VB program also is there. If you have, let's say about 10,000, 20,000 data, 20,000 data, if you want to convert into table, this also can be done. This also can be done, or you can go for VB program. I'm not going to teach you VB program. VB program takes a lot of time. It will not be completed in 1 hour. It will take at least 8 hours to learn a simple VB programming. Okay, this is stacked data we have completed. Then finally, we are going to do something called dashboard. Okay, there are a lot of complex dashboard available. I'm going to teach you the most simplest dashboard for you. Okay, Anand Krishna has asked why you have mentioned AA, not a single A. Good question, ma'am. Because whenever there is a name, we are stacked data, there are name, age, and gender. Okay, if you are going to give you a single A, Excel does not know whether it has to replace from the double A or single A from the front or back. It will replace all the A's available in the information. So that's why we are giving double A. So if you want to replace it, it will only replace double A, not a single A. I hope I have answered your question. Okay, final one we are going to see is dashboard. Final dashboard. So we have a raw data here. We have a raw data here. Okay. Through this method, we are going to see two information: how to create a dashboard. Second information is how to use pivot table. Pivot table is a one way of consolidating all the information into a simple table format. So this is a raw data. Okay. We are going to select all the information. Control Shift N, automatically get selected. Okay. Go to insert. There is something called pivot table. Okay. Click OK. So this information will be displayed here. So we are going to create a sales information. See, this information can be created for everything, whether it's a sales organization, whether it's an education institution, whether it's a finance institution. All this information can be consolidated here. So first we are going to create date and revenue. So we will take order date. We will already, so we will take month. Already month has been selected. Revenue is in values. So automatically it has given the month wise the revenue. Now we want to put it in a graphical format. So select this information, go to pivot charts, go to line diagram. Okay. So see, we do not want the sum of revenue months here. So right click, hide all field buttons. So now we are going to edit it, delete the grid lines also. We do not need grid lines. We do not need the y-axis information. Make it bigger. This is monthly sales. This information is monthly sales. Okay. Create a new dashboard. Type it as dashboard. Dashboard means all the informations are in a single place. So we do not need a grid lines. We will click it. We will change the color to gray. Okay. So copy it. Copy the information. Paste it here. Okay. Now we have monthly sales data. Again, go to raw data. Insert pivot table. We want salesperson and revenue. Okay. For that also we will create a chart. Pivot table. We will go for bar diagram. Okay. We will edit everything. You want to change the color. Can change the color also. Okay. We need the information of how much they have earned, so we will take labels. We do not want the y-axis information or the field buttons. We will type sales person. Again, copy this information, copy, paste it in the dashboard. From here also you can edit your file. Automatically we see I have removed the grid lines here. Automatically the grid lines will not be displayed here. Okay. So this information is overlapping on my sheet. You can drag it down and edit it. So we have created two informations. So we have created the monthly wise sales. We have created salesmen's. So we want to know what is the region wise sales. Again, click it, insert, pivot table, create, click region, then revenue. See, row wise region has been selected, value wise the revenue is a common point here. For that also we will create a chart, pivot table. We will go for basic bar chart. We will hide this field, remove the series, y-axis is removed, right click, we need a data label. Okay, we do not need grid lines. So region sales. Again, dashboard, go up. Okay, last information we need is product sales. We will take product sales. Again, go to pivot table. We'll take category or product name. We'll take product name and revenue. Category we want to get. We'll take this table now. Product sales. So we have all this information available here. This is a simple dashboard. So how do we create a dynamic dashboard? Okay, so click on the first one, sales, go to insert, slicer. So what is this? Monthly sales. So you will take revenue. So you want monthly sales, go to insert, slicer, whether monthly. Okay, month wise you got information. Then we have regional sales. Go to click that, insert, slicer. This is region wise sales. So click region. Okay. We have region wise. Then we have salesperson wise, we have information, insert, slicer, salesperson. Click OK. And last one is product sales. Go to insert, slicer, product name. Okay. So these are the 4 individual information. So we have 8 informations available. How do you link this information? So right click, report link, click all. So again, salesperson, right click, report connection, click all. For region, again right click, report connection, click all. Product name, right click, report connection, click all. So now let's take about how we want information. Let's take about East region, how much sales we have done. Click East, automatically உங்களோட dashboard will give East order sales, salesperson, product sales, region sales வரும். Okay, you can give month wise also, Jan எவ்வளோ, Feb எவ்வளோ. Okay, that information also you can get it. Or I want Apple Jam alone. Apple Jam information மட்டும் கொடுக்கும். Apple Jam வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஜூன்ல it has peaked. ஈஸ்ட்ல சேல் அதிகமா இருக்கு. Okay, leave out this. I want bread information. Bread information click பண்ணோம்னா சவுத்ல வந்து bread has been sold high. Mr. M has sold more, and in the month of September middle of September it has highest sales. See, this is the use of a dashboard. Okay, simple graphical representation of an information. Okay, so that is the end of the session. Thank you all. I think I have tried to complete it maximum. Yes, ma'am. Pavitra ma'am, you can share the feedback link in the chat box, ma'am. See, what I have shared is very a simple method. Dashboard is very simple. What I have shared dashboard is very simple. There are much more complex dashboard. You can create it in the multiple information also. Okay, through this dashboard you can create any number of information you want. If you want the top category person, you can create that. If you want failures, you can have that information also. Okay, who has performed in all 4 semesters, who has performed well, that information also can be done. So all this information can be done.
Okay, thank you, Saranan sir, for wonderfully carrying out this session. I would like to propose a vote of thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to present the vote of thanks on behalf of PG and Research Department of Management Studies, Hindustan College of Arts and Science. I'm here. First of all, I would like to thank our management for giving us this opportunity to conduct this program. Thank you, ma'am. I also extend my gratitude to our principal and our director who were the backbone of bones for this program. Thank you, sirs. Next, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Saravanan and Mrs. Renuka in conducting this program successfully. The program was full of knowledge and has given deep insights into the nuances of advanced Excel. Thanks to both of you. I would also like to thank our faculty team who had given a lot of support to us. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the participants for actively participating in this program. Hope you are enlightened with our inputs. With these warm words and kind message, we would move to the end of the 2 days program. Thank you. I'll be posting the feedback link in the group. Thank you for one and all for joining this program and making it successful.
The feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Please fill it.
Please fill the feedback form. You will be getting a
And if you fill
certificate.
the Thank you all. Thanks for the information, and please fill the feedback form so that we will also able to record your information. And your certificate you will receive it. Ashwin?